Okay, we've got three important things that we want to keep in mind when we are working and doing sessions on ourselves. And I'm going to let you know what those things are. One is our intent. Our intent needs to be casual, like this is what I'm going to work on today, and this is what I'm going to shift today. This is what I'm no longer going to do. The intent of this is what I have to work on today. This is messing my life up so much. I need to make sure this is what I have to change. Do you see? There is a different vibe. So we want to keep the vibe of casual. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I have to do. This has to go away. I just can't take it anymore. Okay. Do you see the difference? The vibe makes a difference as to whether you have a block in working on things or whatever it's inviting for the brain to work on. Number two, you want to have a metaphoric image of what it means to release, to let things go, to not let an emotion control you. Some people like to use tree in the forest, pull it out by the roots. What happens to the tree? A weed in a garden, pull it out by the roots. What happens to the weed? A balloon, letting go, floating away till you see it no more. A boat on the horizon, drifting out to water, gone away. Whatever you want, metaphorically, to imagine this emotion that has been interrupting you, or this image that has been interrupting and interfering with what you want to do in life, no longer exists. It goes away. That is the other important intent to have. You want to have the intent and metaphorically see that this is just to be let go. It's not difficult. Pull it out, release it, watch it float away. Okay? I'm giving you fantastic tips to help this process be smooth. Now, the third thing you want to remember is to flip the memory. What does that mean? Flip the memory means after you have gotten your emotional attachment to whatever issue you're working on to a 0 or a 1, you use your imagination. Something you used to always use when you were young, but now you're going to use it as an adult very constructively to intentionally give your brain a new memory to attach. Now you're like, that's not a real memory. How can you do that? Well, when you meet a guy or a girl for the first time, or you've gone on a couple of dates, what are some things that you start to imagine? Maybe him proposing, maybe her being the girl of your dreams, getting married. You use your imagination, and you don't sit there and say, no, I can't think of that because that's not really real. You want that, so you imagine it. Well, let's say you're telling a story, and all of a sudden, things start to get even more emotionally or extravagant as you explain it. Okay? So, right now, you are working with your subconscious. You are trying to help it to heal. So, after you have gotten the emotion to go down to a 0 or 1, you're going to give it something good, happy, as if, let's say, you watched a movie or a book. Do you know how influential books and movies are on your mind? That's why when we're watching them or reading them, we'll start to cry, or we'll be like, yeah, do it. And it's like, it's a movie, it's not real. So that's what you're going to do for your brain to help it to stay healed. You're going to replace the memory with something good, as if what you were dealing with never happened. So, example, a car accident. You have an image and a sound of it. You've gotten it all the way to drop down. It's like you can't really even see the accident anymore. You can't hear it. So you're going to use your imagination and create another scenario. So let's say it starts with you're at a stoplight and then you feel the impact, okay? Or felt the impact. So what you're going to do, you're going to baby step it and back it up a little. You're going to go from your house. Go from your house, get in the car, and go a different direction. Arrive at work, and oh my, there's a surprise for you. You got a raise. And because of that raise, you and your family are now going to be able to take the kids to Disneyland. And you guys had the most fantastic time at Disneyland. Boom. Give yourself a new scenario that quickly with emotion and what could have happened with it. Just make it up. You're going to write that down. And for the next 3 or 4 days, you're going to think about, hey, got a raise, took the family to Disneyland. The kids were so excited. Could you imagine kids being so excited? Oh, Mickey Mouse. Boom. How long does that take? 15, 20 seconds. This will implant in your brain something good. You're using your imagination for the good. We do it all the time for things we're going to hope for. Oh, I can imagine the car. I can see myself driving it. Okay? This is what you're doing. So I hope these 3 tips, you're going to utilize these and recognize their importance. Now, let's say you don't use all 3 of these. No big deal. The point is as you're doing the process, just start to learn to implement them. If you're like, oh, I've already worked on something and I didn't flip the memory, no problem. Look at it right now. Take 15 seconds, flip the memory, write it down, and for the next 2 or 3 days, put it in. Okay? So these are the 3 things that are really helpful in getting extraordinary results. So I hope that you found these of value. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Ciao.